What's up, YouTube? It's your boy DR2727. Shout out to my Transformers collectors, 1/12 scale collector, whatever you collect, shout out to you. And this month's video for October 2022 is a top 10 biggest regrets of figures I've sold out of my collection. And this isn't a list that has financial ramifications, meaning it sold for 100 yesterday and sells for 500 today. This is a list about figures that I still wish were in my collecting for collecting purposes only. Before we get started with the list, I'm going to give an honorable mention, and it's to Generations World. World is such an important character in the Transformers lore, especially in IDW. And yes, I had MMC version. I know they came out with one, but it looked nothing like World or the IDW version. The Generations is what we got closest to it. And I sold it just for the MMC version, which I wish I would have kept. But such an important character, we don't have any real good representation of it. This is the best representation, so I wish I just would have kept this. Number 10 is Toy Wars Coneheads. Yeah, they're a little bit out of scale, but they were really good figures. I even did a 2MP or not 10P and gave them a vertical MP, and I'm just surprised nobody else has done them. And since nobody else has done them, I just wish I had them. I wish I would have kept them just to fill that spot in my collection. My regrets aren't just limited to Transformers. Number 9 on my list is Hot Toys Black Panther, and we already know why. The best thing to say here is rest in peace to Chad Boseman and prayers to his loved ones and his fans. Number 8 is Bad Cube's Lori, their version of Hoist. And yes, I have fans towards Hitch, and I think that that's the better release. But I think Lori is the more interesting release with accessories from that episode where they were in Arthur's court. The fact that the engineering was so interesting, meaning like the whole bottom part of the truck transformed into the foot. The fact that you could, change the shape. I just think Lori was a real good figure. Like, I'm keeping the Hitch. I like it better, but I would like to still have Lori to mess around with. SH Figure Arts Weiss. Look, I have a shelf of assholes that are comprised of various characters from different fictions that I think are assholes, and it's missing a Weiss. And I had it, and I sold it, then I created this shelf and wish I had it again. So just wish I had a Weiss for my shelf of assholes. Every time I've done a collection tour video, Make Toys Cointron is always a feature piece of mine. I think Make Toys knocked that out the park. I think it's the best representation of Computron to date, and I just wish I still had it in my collection. It was such a great action figure, such a great combiner, and the thing with the bow and arrow gimmick was so cool. Like, I just miss having that figure in my collection. Number 5 is Dx9 Mitron, and it's a figure I always undervalue. Like, I always used it in my secondary display. Like here, I used it in my IDW shelf where I can't believe I'm gonna say this, x-transbots is my proper Megatron, and I wish I would have kept Dx9 Mitron because I think it's such a great figure. It has the best face sculpt. It has some innovative engineering in the legs. Now, the problem is it fell apart in the back. But overall, I think Make Toys is still the best MP Megatron, and that's the one I use for my MP Megatron. But I really like this DX9. I think it was really cool and innovative for the time. And I just wish I would have kept it. Come on, and if you saw Weiss on the list, you knew Beerus wouldn't be too far behind. And what is a shelf of assholes without one of the greatest assholes of all time, Lord Beerus? I had him and Weiss, and I sold them both all before I thought about what I was doing, before I even thought of this idea of a shelf of assholes. But now that I have this shelf of assholes, I really wish I had him back because I think he's one of the keystone members of that. Number 3 is the movie realization Samurai series Darth Vader. And this is pretty much about the whole line. Like, if it was one line that was non-Transformers that I would collect, it would be this line. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, but I think those figures are cool. Like, I remember him, the Stormtrooper, the Boba Fett. Like, I think they're just well sculpted, well painted, and just great overall figures. And like I said, if I wasn't collecting Transformers, this would probably be the number 1 line I would be in. Number 2 is MMC's Carnifex, their version of Overlord. And this figure actually won Figure of the Year, my very first yearly Toy Wars video. And I sold it because I got out of the MMC scale IDW stuff and went more with Iron Factory and with Flames toys and the higher end Flames toy stuff. And as I flesh out that collection, I think that this Overlord would go good with the Flames toys, IDW stuff, and I'm questioning if Flames toys will ever do a IDW Overlord just because of the size of the figure. Like, it'll be almost an $800-900 figure, but that's why I wish I would have kept it, because I think it goes great with how my collection is now. And so, I'm very disappointed I sold this figure. Very disappointed myself. Probably will pick it up this year sometime, but I really wish I would have kept it in my collection. And the figure I most regret selling is Master Made Apollo. And to get some insight to why, let's look at one of my first videos I recorded for YouTube. So I just think this is an amazing toy. I would tell anybody to check out Mastermade. They have the Metroplex, they have the Triptychon, and this. I know they have those three, but I would say definitely check out Mastermade. The paint, the quality, the build quality is amazing. This toy is a 10 out of 10, and this was my surprisingly best toy I bought in 2016. And I had the Fort Max and Overlord as well, and I can confirm that those are 10 out of 10 figures too. And I say this point blank period, this is the best Transformers line out. I know they did a Devastator, a Metroplex, and a Triptychon, and I wish I would have just kept the figures I had and bought the other three and completed the line. Let me know in the comments what figures you regret selling. Leave a comment. Remember, I read and respond to all comments, and thank you guys for watching as always.